Welcome back to computer science class. In the last video, we discussed a new data structure, linked list. In linked list, we discussed how to create a linked list, then how to insert a node to the existing linked list. We have to discuss inserting a node at the beginning of the linked list and inserting a node at the end of the linked list. In this session, we discuss deleting a node from the linked list. Linked list is a collection of nodes. It is a linear collection of node. Then each node have two parts. One is data part, another one is link part. And linearity or sequentiality is depends on the pointer. That is the definition of linked list. In a linked list, we have to delete a node from the beginning of the linked list or from the end of the linked list or from the middle of the linked list. These are the three cases. The first case is deleting a node from beginning of the linked list. Second one, deleting a node at the end of linked list. Third one, deleting a node at the middle of linked list. These are the three cases to delete a node. Then if we have to perform a deleting operations on linked list, if there is no node in the linked list, there is no nodes in the linked list, that condition is called underflow. What is the meaning of underflow here? There is no nodes in the linked list. There is no nodes in linked list. That condition is called underflow. In linked list, there is no overflow because linked list always uses dynamic memory allocation. In the dynamic memory allocation, we have to create a memory at the time of execution. Hence, there is no overflow. If it is a static memory allocation, if you use a static memory allocation, there is a overflow condition. But linked list is always a dynamic memory allocation. Hence, there is no overflow condition. Linked list have only underflow condition. What is the meaning of underflow here? If there is a no nodes in the linked list. What is linked list? Linked list is a linear collection of items. Items are called node. There is no nodes or there is no items in the linked list. Then that condition is called underflow. To delete an element, first we have to verify the underflow. How to verify the underflow? We know that the linked list always starts from the pointer start. Always begins with a pointer start. Then the start pointer stores the address of the first node. Then first node link part stores the address of the second node. Last node link part stores the null. When we say it is underflow, if the start pointer have null value, then there is no nodes in the linked list. This condition is called underflow. Here we only discuss two cases. The first one is deleting a node from beginning of the linked list and deleting a node at the end of linked list. Let's discuss one by one. Consider the first case, deleting a node from the beginning of the linked list. Again, consider an example. There is a pointer start. There is a pointer start. Then it is a collection of node. Here there is a 3 nodes. Here there is a 3 nodes, and the link part of the last node stores null value. Assume that the memory addresses are 501, 502, 503. These are the memory addresses of the each node. Then start stores the address of the first node, that is 501. Link part of the first node stores the address of the second node, that is 502. Second node stores the address of the third node, that is 503. Last node link part stores the null value, that is end of a linked list. Here deleting a node means we have to delete this node from the linked list. This node from the linked list. Here deleting a node means instead of storing the address of first node in the pointer start, we have to store the address of the second node in a starting point. See here, what is the meaning of deleting a node? Pointer stores the address of the first node, hence the compiler identify this is the first node. We have to remove the first node means instead of storing the address of first node in a start pointer, we have to store the address of second node in pointer start. Then automatically first node will be deleted from the linked list. So it is a simple process to remove the node from the linked list. How to remove? First, start from the linked list. For the link part of an first node, stores the address of the second node. Link part of an first node stores the address of an second node, that is directly assigned the pointer start. Then remove the first node. So these are the procedures. Let's write a algorithm for that. Let's write an algorithm. To delete a node from beginning of the linked list, from the beginning. In the step 1, start. Here start is a pointer. Next, step 2, p back arrow of start, where p is a temporary node. Assign the address of start to p. So p stores the p identifies the first node. In the step 3, print data part of p. What is here? Here p is a temporary node. We store the address of first node to the temporary node. Then here p have two parts. One is data part, another one is link part. Here p refers the first node. Then we have to print the data part of an p, this part of an p. Next, for the starting node, for the start pointer, assign the link part of p. What it stores? Link part of an p stores the address of the second node. That address is assigned to the pointer start. Then in this step 5, free p. Free p means we have to delete the p. In the step 6, return. So this is a algorithm. What we done here? First we have to identify the starting pointer. Then assign the starting pointer to the temporary variable p. So starting pointer refers always a first node. That node is assigned to the temporary node p. Then we have to print the what are the data present in the p. Data part of an p. Just print data part of an p. Then link part of P stores the address of the second node. That address is assigned to starting point. Then we have to remove the P. P refers first node, automatically first node is removed. We have to store the address of the second node to the starting address. It is a simple algorithm to delete a node from the linked list. Consider the second case, that is deleting at the end. Deleting a node at the end. To delete a node at the end, first we have to identify the last node and second last node. See here, it is a pointer. These are the linear collection of nodes. Linear collection of node. Here deleting a node means we have to delete the last node. Delete the last node. Then second last node. This is the second last node. Second last node. The link part of a second last node. Link part of a second last node fill with a null value. Then the last node automatically removed. What is the meaning of the deleting a node? We have to identify the last node and second last node. Then the second last node link part, second last node link part fill with a null pointer. Then automatically the last node will be deleted. For that we write a algorithm like this. It needs two pointers P1 and P2. The algorithm needs two pointers P1 and P2, where P1 is used to traversal in a linked list. P2 keep the location of the previous node of link 1, that is P1. Here there is a two pointers P1 and P2. Two pointers P1 and P2, where P1 is used to traversal. P1 is used to traversal in linked list. And P2 is used to store previous location of P1. See here, P1 and P2 both are the two pointers where P1 is used to traversal in linked list and P2 is used to store previous location of P1, because first we have to identify which one is the last node, which one is the last one. Let this is the last node, it identifies P1. Then P2 is used to store previous location or previous addresses. If it is a P1, then this is the P2. Second last node is the P2. We have to fill P2 link part with a null value. P2 link part with a null value. That is the algorithm. Let's write a algorithm. In the step 1, start. Step 1, start. Then in the step 2, P1 back arrow of start. For the P1, assign the starting point of start. Then traversal in linked list. In step 3, traversal. How to traversal? While P1 not equal to null. That is, P1 identifies the node, link part of an P1, link part of an P1 is not equal to null, we have to traversal in a linked list. Then P2 stores the previous address of P1. Every time P2 stores the previous address of P1. Then for the P1, assign link part of P1. For the P1, assign the link part, because link part of an P1 stores the address of the next node. Address of the next node. Hence, for the P1, assign the link part of an P1 while, okay, here, and while. When it reaches the last node, stops the iteration. Next, in the step 4, when we reaches the last node, print data part of P1. Print data part of P1. Say we traversal in the linked list, we reach the last node. When it terminates, P1 is not equal to null. Null, it reaches the null. That time we have to print the data part of an P1, this part of an P1. Then we have to assign null value to the P2, because P2 stores the previous address of P1. In this step 5, link part of P2, link part of an P2 is assigned with null value. Step 6, return. Step 6, return. Carefully trace the algorithm. Here P1 and P2 are the 2 pointers. P1 and 2 are the 2 pointers or nodes. It may be pointers or nodes. Then P1 is used to traversal. This is the logic for traversal. In a linked list, we have to start with a pointer start. Then pointer start identifies the address of the first node. Here we have to assign the address of first node to the P1. We have to verify P1 is not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, we have to access link part of an P1 that is assigned to the P1. But link part of an P1 stores the address of the second node. So we have to assign second node address to the P1. Again verify if it is not equal to null. Then it refers this one. Again here it is not null. Then again we have to assign the link part of an P1 to the P1. Again this one stores the address of the third node. Again move on to the third node. Every time we have to move on to the next node. At the same time P2 stores the previous address of link 1. It is used to traversal P1, and P2 is used to store previous location of P1. Location of P1 or address of P1. Then when it terminates, we reach the last node. P1 identifies the last node. When we reach the last node, we have to print the value present in a data part. Here there is a data part, value present in a data part, and we have to access the link part of an P2. This is the link part of an P2. For the link part of an P2, assign the null value. Here we assign the null value. If you assign a null value to the P2 part, automatically last node is removed. There is no link between linked list and then last node. Automatically it freezes the last node. When it freezes the last node, again this node is go back to the avail list. We know that what is avail. It is a unallocated collection of unallocated nodes. If you delete a node from the linked list, those nodes are again go back to the avail list. When we insert a new node to the linked list, then nodes are deleted from the avail, added or inserted to the linked list. So here we delete a node, those nodes are again go back to the avail list. Then this process is also called garbage collection. What we deleted from the linked list, either it is beginning or it is at the end or it is at the middle, those nodes are go back to the free storage. Then this free storage is also called garbage collection. It is an algorithm to delete a node at the beginning, at the end of an linked list. In a linked list data structure, we discuss what is linked list, what is a node, what is a while, how to create a node and how to create a linked list, inserting a node to the linked list, deleting a node from the linked list. These are the concepts covered in linked list. Let's discuss non-linear data structure. So stack, queue, linked list, these three are belongs to the primitive data structure, and these are the non-primitive data structure, and these are the linear data structure, non-primitive linear data structure. Then let's discuss non-linear data structure. In the non-linear data structure, it is also a collection of data item because it is belongs to non-primitive. In a non-primitive data structure, mainly concentrate on grouping of data items in heterogeneous form or in homogeneous form. In non-linear data structure, data items are connected to several data items. The one data item is connected to several data items. That is there is more than one or more than one possibility to reach a next item. That is the definition of non-linear data structure. In a non-linear data structure, data items are, it is also a collection of data items. Data items are connected to several data items. A single data item is connected to several data items. That is, there is a more than one possibility. To reach a next item. That is the definition for non-linear. Then the non-linear data structure also have some advantages and disadvantages. Here advantages are not necessary to know the length of data structure in advance. Not necessary to know the length of data structure in advance. Then second one is the length of the data structure is not necessary. The length of the data structure is not necessary. These are the two advantages. The first one is we not know the length of the data structure in advance. Then the length of the data structure is not necessary because there is a more than one possibility to the next item. Then disadvantage. There is only one disadvantage in non-linear data structure, that is link established between the node or between the items. Between the item is difficult. Link between the nodes or items is difficult. In a non-linear data structure, items are also called node. Here also we call node. If it is a node means again have two parts, one is data part and another one is link part. Here link established between the items or link established between the nodes is difficult. Advantages and disadvantages are also called pros and cons. Pros and cons. Pros and cons. So these are the advantages and disadvantages. Then the best example for non-linear data structure. Example for non-linear data structures are tree and graph. Here we discuss only definition of tree and definition of graph. Let's consider a first type of non-linear data structure, that is tree. In a tree, it is a collection of nodes. Tree is a collection of nodes. Nodes are arranged. Nodes are arranged in hierarchy manner. Arranged in hierarchy. See here. Here, tree is a data structure. It is also one of the data structure of the linear type, non-linear type. It is of the type non-linear. Then it is a collection of nodes. Then each nodes are arranged in a hierarchy. See here, what is hierarchy? Let A is a node, then B is another node, C is again another node, here D, E, another one is F. This is the example for tree. Here it is a collection of nodes. See here, it is a collection of nodes and there is a more than one possibility to reach the next node or next item. There is a more than one possibility to reach the next node. See here, from A we have to reach to the B or to the C. Then from B again there is a two possibility, either to the D or to the E. From C there is a one possibility, that is F. So this is called non-linear. Then tree is a best example for non-linear data structure. Here A is called root node. A is a root node. Root node. Then D, E, F are called leaf node. Leaf node. And B and C are called internal node. Internal node. Then what is root node here? Let's see what is root node. Here root node, it is a topmost. It is a topmost node in a tree. Topmost node in a tree do not have any parent node. Any parent node. What is here parent node? B and C are the child nodes. These are also called child nodes. D, E, F also called child node. Then for the D and E, B is the parent. For the B and C, A is a parent. Then A, that is root node, is a topmost node in the tree. Do not have any parent. It is a first node in a tree. That node is called root node. Then next one is leaf node. Leaf node. Here leaf node, it is a node in a tree. It is a node in a tree. Do not have any childs. It is a node. It is a last node. Child node is a last node in a tree. Do not have any child. Here example for leaf node is D, E, F. The node D, E, F are the example for leaf node. See here, D, E, F are the last node. These are the last node in a tree. Do not have further childs and do not have further nodes. Then internal node. Internal node. So here internal nodes are the Internal nodes are the intermediate nodes. These are the intermediate nodes have both parent and child. Have both parent node and child node. That is called internal nodes. See here, C have both parent A then child F. B have a parent A and child DF. Hence, B and C are the internal node. Here in this diagram, B and C are the internal nodes. Then next one is binary tree. Binary tree. Here binary tree means the tree or every node at most have two childs. Node at most have two child nodes. Child nodes are called binary tree. Binary tree. A node at most have exactly two descendings. The childs are also called descendings. Exactly two childs. That tree is called binary tree. Then one more, that is height of an tree. Height of tree. Here height of tree means the distance between root node to leaf node. The distance between root node to leaf node, that is called height of an tree. Distance between root to leaf node. That is called height or depth of an tree. So these are the related words to tree. What is tree here? It is a collection of node. It is one of the data structure and it is a collection of node. Each nodes are arranged in hierarchy. See the diagram. This is the arrangement of tree. In a tree, the first node, the topmost node is called root node. Here it is a topmost node. In a tree, do not have any parent node. Then next one is the parent node have descendings. Descendings are also called child nodes. Then the intermediate nodes are called internal nodes. Intermediate nodes are called internal nodes. Here internal nodes have both parent node as well as child nodes. Here B and C are the internal node. A is a root node. Then one more type of a node in a tree, that is leaf node. Here leaf node are the last node in a tree. These are the last node in a tree, do not have any descendings. See here D, E, F are the example for leaf node, do not have any descendings or do not have any child node. These are the last node in a tree, that is called leaf node. Next one is binary tree. A node exactly or node at most have two childs. A node at most have two descendings or two childs, that is called binary tree. Then the path between A to F, that is root node to leaf node. The distance between root node to leaf node or downward path between root to parent, root to child node. Downward path between root to child, that is called height. That is the distance between root node to leaf node, height or depth. So these are the important in point of examination. In examination, these are asked for one mark question. What is binary tree? What is root node? What is leaf node? Mark it as important. Let's consider one more example, that is graph. Second one, that is graph. Here graph is a data structure. Graph is a data structure. It is a collection of vertices and edges. It is a collection of vertices and edges. Here in graph nodes are called vertices, and connection between the nodes are called edges. See here, what is node and what is vertex and what is edge. See here, in a graph it is also node. Again here node means have two parts, one is data part and link part. But in a graph nodes are called vertices, vertex. Then vertex are internally connected. These internal connections are called edges. See the diagram. This is the example for graph. There is a 5 nodes A, B, C, D and E. Then there is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 edges. 5 nodes, 5 edges. There is a two type of edges or graph. One is directional graph. Another one is undirectional graph. There is a two types of graphs. One is directional graph, another one is undirectional graph. The direction and undirectional graphs depends on the edges of the node. Here there is a two edges. Say there is a two edges, one is related to D, another one is related to E. But A and D, in between A and D there is only one edge. If the edges have arrows, that is called directional graph. If the edges do not have any arrows, that is called undirectional graph. Here there is a 5 node, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 edges, 7 directions. Here directions are called edges. The connections and directions are called edges. So these are the concept related to graph. In a graph, just we have to discuss what is graph, then what is vertices and what is edges. Here vertices are the nodes, edges are the connection between the nodes. There is a two types of graphs, one is directional, another one is undirectional. If the edges have a direction, that is called directional graph. If the edges do not have any directions, that is called undirectional graph. This is the end of the chapter data structure. In a point of examination, very important chapter. In a data structure, we discuss definition of data structure and how to classify the data structure. The data structures are mainly classified into two types. One is primitive data structure, another one is non-primitive data structure. In a primitive data structure, these are mainly deals with machine level instructions. Examples: integer, character, float, point, reference, etc. are the primitive data structures. In a non-primitive data structure, these are mainly concentrate on homogeneous or heterogeneous data items. It is a mainly concentrate on grouping of items in homogeneous or heterogeneous form. Then these are the most complex data structures. Non-primitive are the most complex. Then non-primitive data structures are again classified into three types: arrays, files and lists. Here arrays in a three types: one dimensional, two dimensional, and multi-dimensional. In a list there is a two types, one is linear list, another one is non-linear list. In a linear list, array is again belongs to linear list, stacks, queues and linked list are the linear list, graph and trees are the non-linear linked list. Here we deeply discussed stack, queue, linked list, and also we discussed arrays, operations to be performed on a linear list, then types of arrays, then algorithm to traversal in an array, inserting, searching, sorting are discussed related to arrays. In a stack, we discussed what is stack, what is push operation, what is pop operation, what is peek, then is empty, size. In a queue, NQ, DQ, types of queue we discussed. In a linked list, definition of linked list, types of linked list, how to create a node, how to insert a node, how to delete a node. With respect to non-linear linked list, we discuss only definition of trees and graph. In the next video, we discuss the next chapter. Thank you.